down. That's where we're headed, onto our mats. And then if you're not there yet, if you're making your way back, just trying to begin the process of being present and graceful and easy, we can feel quite clunky and creaky in the morning. So if that's the case for you, take your time, really slowly make your way down. And once you've arrived on your backside, we're slowly going to come down to the earth, fully lying on our backs to begin today. This is going to feel so nice. I really like to hug onto my thighs and give yourself a big back stretch. Try to pull your belly away from your thighs as you round your back. Tuck in here and just pause for a second. It's okay if you're already down. You can stay there. We'll be right with you. One big breath in here. And then as you exhale, start to lower yourself down. You can continue holding your thighs, just a really gentle descent into the earth. Hug your knees into your chest and simply rock side to side. Close knees rounds you a little bit more, so it might feel good for a second. And then do widen up your knees. I encourage you through all of our shapes that we make today to please explore, see how things feel. Bringing our knees back to center and then slowly tap toes on earth and lie all the way out on your back like you've just woken up and are taking the most glorious good morning stretch. Reach fingers and toes out, point them, extend them, open the web and try to lift your belly and your ribs. Take a huge in-breath here. I love to feel all that engagement, like a little bit of electricity is sparking through your veins. And then exhale, release softly. Everything kind of melts into the mat. Walk heels to the left, crossing right ankle over the left. Arms and head to the left, so you've created your banana shape. And then if it feels good, left hand holds the right wrist for a little extra guidance into this shape. Banana asana, but I choose to envision it like if we are looking down from above, we just look like a happy smile, which is the epitome of yoga. My goal for you is to leave your cells feeling really happy and light, like they could just dance on out of the room. So envisioning this smile brings a beautiful, lighthearted quality of practice in the beginning. One more big breath in. Come on back and shift to the center so you're a long straight line again, and then gather up your knees. We're going to add in a little core here, toes to the sky. Reach and wiggle your toes for a second, then roll through your ankles or just pedal your feet, waking up things slowly. Then reach fingers to toes, give them the same wiggle, roll, a little bit of love for the wrist. Elevate your heart so you're reaching everything up to the ceiling like a big U, a U, letter U. Got it? Cool. Hug into a little ball, make like a little baby C, and then right back to your U. If your neck starts to bother you, let it fall, but we're going to crunch and then reach. As you crunch, try to pull your tailbone in a little closer. Inhale one, exhale on the other. Any breath is a good breath. Try to flare open the webbing between your fingers and your toes. We have 2 more big reaches. Stay elevated. Head and neck can rest. Then extend your legs as low as you can go with your low back still in the mat. Extend your arms up and overhead. Stay long, biceps by the ears, and see if you can slowly lower your legs. Get to the point where you feel shaking in your belly. Pause here, try to breathe. Anchor in through your low back. Take one more big breath in. Gather up your knees, relax. All right, let's go banana asana or smile to the right. Legs move to the right, left ankle over right. Arms, and I always lift my head and neck and scooch that way as well. Right hand holds the left wrist and use it to gain a little bit more length from the bottom of your left shoulder blade to the top rib, lengthening and opening the ribs in between and all the way down to your hip bone. Let's breathe new energy. I like to envision light coming in where things may have been a little tight and dark a moment ago. And one more big breath in. On your exhale, straighten yourself back up, uncross arms and legs, and then again, reach your knees to your chest, and then to the sky. Let's U crunch, up in a U. Okay, keep the upper body lifted if possible, my friends. If you need to at any time, you rest your head and neck. We're gonna lower both legs simultaneously, and then scoop them out to each side, scoop them back in and rise to the sky. Can you lift the lower spine and tailbone? Lower again, think lowercase W, make a little W here. Back in through the center, lift tail and lower back. We're going to try 4 more of these W scoops. Working into our hip flexors, into our pelvis and our thighs. If it's really challenging and it's no fun, then bend your knees and still crunch so we can do it from our little ball, our little baby C. One more time, my friends. Long and strong through the legs. Toes to sky, reach fingers up, lift through the bottom of your tailbone. Hug your knees into your chest and relax. Good to fire up the core in the beginning. We're going to move a lot stronger and more balanced from here. Heels down, arms spread wide, and let's press up into bridge and stretch out our thighs and our bellies. Just a soft bridge, my friends, letting everything be casual here, letting tension float away from your belly. Next breath in, let's start to press heels down a little stronger. Squeeze knees towards one another so we can align knees with our hip bones. And then as you press your heels even stronger, drag them back towards your shoulders. See a little crumpling of your mat happen under your buns. You're really engaging through the lower buns and the backside. One more big breath in. Can you heel toe your right foot closer to your midline? And then pull your left knee into your chest. Point your toes to the sky. Boost out of your right heel. Lift to the highest bridge you have. Lower your straight leg down next to your right knee. And then recrunch left knee to chest. Put your left foot right where the right one is. And then draw your right knee into your chest. Hang in there, yogis. Toes to sky. I love this because we can boost a little higher now, like your toes are helping you rise. Long leg, right knee next to left knee. Press away from your nose. Rebend, right knee into chest. Big squeeze. Exhale, heels down. Lower your spine 1 vertebra at a time. Well done. And then take any spinal rock that feels good. Knees close or wide. Just relax and recover. All right, a little more core. We're moving on to our side core here. Close your knees, please, and press palms down, arms wide at sides. Let's drop our knees to the left side, but we're going to hover them, my friends. So get as low as it feels good, but you can still rise from here. On that exhalation, rise to the sky. Drop knees to the right, hover them. Inhale, inhale. Exhale, rise. Just one more each way like this. You can look away from your knees to make this a little more stable. Eyes to the left as knees fall right. And we're going to add on. Knees fall left, right leg extends. Makes it a bit more challenging. Now you can keep that leg extended as you rise or rebend it. Knees fall right, top leg extends. Stay strong as you squeeze through your obliques, your side abdominals to rise. Breathe in. Breathe out. We only have one more and then a new challenge. Okay, my friends, 4 more. Are you able to stay in the center, but both legs extend and then drop? Have an option for you. So if this is too intense, we can bend our knees to start, fall to the side, then extend their legs, optionally keeping them straight or rebending them to rise. 1 more each way. This has been a big tease for spinal twists, so have no fear. It is coming. Rise to the sky, and our big reward for that hard work, toes to the floor. Let knees drop over to the left side. Square up your chest and eyes move to the right. That's really nice, isn't it? Point your right finger, your index finger out. Clasp all other fingers together. And then act as if that has a little laser pointer. We're going to draw a line overhead over our right ear and then all the way down to our right pinky toe. Like you're drawing a circle here on the floor, bringing some mobility into our shoulders. Inhale, right arm overhead. Exhale, right arm down by your heels. 3 more like this. Big breath in. Now, if you need more out of your spinal twist, take your right knee closer to the floor. And we're going to go for 1 more big laser pointer circle over here. Eye gaze back to the sky, shoulders extend flat. Slowly climb your way back to the top, bringing hips back in line under shoulders. All right, moving on. This is the good stuff. Toes fall to the earth. Scoot your hips left and let your knees fall to the right. Once we have our shoulder girdle pressed really strong, Eyes can float over to the left side. We're going to use our left pointer finger as that laser pointer, sweeping a big circle up and overhead, and then all the way back down to our left pinky toe. Breathe in one way. Breathe out the other, working mobility and warmth into our shoulder joint. Breathe in. Breathe out. So nice. If you need a little bit more here, we can drop our left knee closer to the earth. 2 more breath-filled circles, moving at your own pace today, whatever your breath allows you to feel. Breathing and slowing down if possible. Arms back wide, eyes to sky. Knees come back together so we can squeeze through our left obliques to rise. Scooch hips back under the knees. And this is super fun, so have fun with it. Let go a little bit. We're going to rock toes to head. Are you able to rock with enough energy that you can pop up to forward fold? Maybe not. So if you can't, it's okay. Roll to the side or roll around the corner. No matter what, we're having fun. And then find your way up into forward fold. Slow as you go. So I love to take a moment to feel my wrists, tuck my toes, move through ankles. There's no rush to get here. When you've arrived in forward fold, take a moment to just let your upper body hang. Try tucking your chin to your chest. It's a great time to gather up some yoga props for the practice. If you needed pillows or if you have yoga blocks, hardcover books, anything to help you build the ground up and make you feel supported in your postures. Give your head a giant no shake. Release tension, signaling to your body you have no time for that tension, that tightness. Once that feels good, give yourself a yes, just ending with a little icing on the cake, some positivity sprinkled on top. And from here, bring fingertips in front of toes, look halfway up, a little forward, so we don't get dizzy when we begin to rise in a moment. Bend your right knee, left arm rises, forward fold twist. If we're reaching today and the sky doesn't feel comfy, bring hands to hips, take a peek over your elbow. Fingers back to the earth, left fingers stay. Try to lengthen your left side as you bend your knee and reach your right arm skywards. Connect with your breath here to elongate. As long as your neck is happy, eyes are floating towards fingertips. Exhale, release, and then rolling up halfway again, bending your knees, looking forward, releasing right back down. Twice more like that. Inhale, roll up through the spine, halfway lift, top of head away from tail. Release. One more, but we're staying in this halfway lift. When you find it, bend your knees and begin to sweep your arms behind you. So you look like a downhill skier speeding down the slopes. Belly in. Really draw your belly in, protect your low back, and then push energy out your fingertips, out your sits bones, tuck your chin to your chest, wrinkle free in back of neck. One more big breath. Keep your legs bent, but on the exhalation, sink into your buns and rise, arms overhead, chair pose. Right back to downhill skier. Inhale back, chin tucks. Exhale, rise. We want to get really aerodynamic in this one. So think about streamlining everything here, long lines of energy. Exhale, let's try one more round. Hopefully feeling a bit of warmth beginning to form in our low backs and our buns and our thighs. Inhale. And from here, stay in chair, but lift your heels if it's available to you. Exhale, release. Warm the back of the legs. Inhale, calves, hug the shins. Exhale, twice more. Try to float with your breath. That dance, that vinyasa dance is breath and movement together. Inhale, rise, extended mountain pose. Hold on to right wrist and tip over. Plant your right foot strong. Inhale, center. Hold left wrist and tip over. The best is just beginning. Come around the corner again, but this time right leg steps back. This one feels good. Move around, see where your favorite spot in this stretch is. Center on the breath in. Hold left wrist, left leg gives you a little extra boost, really buoyant in the low half. So you can stretch top half away. Inhale, center. Exhale, forward fold. Okay, are we ready to begin? Take a moment here. Relax heavily, clasp hands behind low back. Resting knuckles right on your low back, but when you feel ready, stretch knuckles to the wall behind you or possibly up overhead to the ceiling. And as soon as you find a bit of release, some tension rolling out of the shoulders, try to draw shoulder blades together so your earlobes are really far away from your shoulder heads and your neck feels free. Staying here, rinsing a little bit of tension away with each breath. One more big breath, my friends. On the exhalation, knuckles back to small of back, and then slide them down your legs so they don't crash into the earth. Halfway lift again. Right leg takes a long lunge back, and as soon as you arrive, allow your knee to settle down. So we might want to put something comfy or roll our mat under it. We don't want to be distracted by our kneecap hurting. So get really cozy and lift up through the hips and the arms, coming into 90-degree bends in our knees. Tricep stretch, right elbow bends. Try to hold that little point and hook your left forearm behind your head so you can use your chin to elongate. Love this stretch because it really builds the muscles on the back of our neck up strongly so we can avoid that tech neck syndrome that a lot of people are suffering from. Once you've arrived, let your hips melt and then tip to the left. Inhale, rise. Exhale, tip. If this doesn't feel good, stay up, but we're still going to get into our hips and shoulders here. One more big breath wherever you are. When you're ready, rise up, hips rise again, right arm comes down. We're going to take the left hand on the top of our wrist to push down and pull across. Nice shoulder stretch. Eye gaze looks over right shoulder. Sink back into your hips whenever you're ready, but then try to pull your pelvic floor up and in. The sensation is like stopping the flow of urine. We want to be really strong, hammocking the internal organs up there. Eyes back to center, drop right ear to right shoulder. Try to stay up really tall. One more big breath here. Inhale, arms rise. Frame out your front foot and shift back to half split. See how this feels. Do you want to stay or do you need a few rotations through that lunge to half split? I always like to get a little extra try here and there so we can find, maybe I can go a little deeper if I ease in. When it feels really good, stay in your half split. So many options here, right? Toes can be down, left toes can be down. We can lift our chests. So find what feels good and explore with open-minded curiosity today. Sweeping that left leg out to the side. Try to press your blade edge down, soften your knee, and then reach your fingers forward as you sit your buns back. Really energized in the hands. Can you even tent your fingertips? Suction cup the fingertips towards one another and bow down through your nose to get really low. Relifting head, drawing knee back in. Toes are tucked. Take a second to stretch the bottoms of your feet. When you feel ready, rise hips to sky, downward facing dog. No rules, my friends. Do anything that comes to your mind. Possibly a walk the dog, alternating knees and heels, pushing and pulling. You might want to swing your hips side to side. We may want to look forward and roll a little forward and back. Anything that we can do to release tension, invite warmth, breath, and movement into our bodies. Heels rise, heels melt down. Use your breath. Inhale, lift heels. Exhale, melt heels. Knees can be really bent through all of this to give your back more space. One more big breath-filled lift and lower. Lift again, hold and tiptoe walk your toes forward. Take as much time as it feels good and fold, and then with a really slow stack of your spine, roll to rise. Head comes up, and then the arms follow. No time to rush. Inhale. That felt nice. And then I can't wait to repeat. Stretch really, really long. Exhale, float to the earth. We can re-roll. That feels good. Or if something else feels good to you, like a hinge or a swan dive, please take it. Halfway lift. Exhale to earth and get cozy on your left knee. Softly step that leg all the way back and kneel when you're ready. Right away, that feels pretty darn good, right? If it doesn't, move around, make space. Get some blocks to build yourself up. Arms rise, knees rise to 90 degrees. Left tricep stretch. So we're going to attempt to hook that right forearm so we can use our chin to improve the lift. Try to lift from the back of your earlobes and the back of your ribs too. So we're not doing much back bending. We're lifting up and out here. Let your hips melt. Oh, Man, pull your pelvic floor up and in, breathe down to your pelvic bowl, and then if it feels right today, tip to the right. Okay, envisioning that Banana Asana smile from the beginning of class, can you create that same shape in the corners of your mouth? It might feel silly, but bringing the whimsical side to your practice will make it feel beautifully fun, floaty, and lighthearted. That's why we're here. Back to center, arms rise, hips rise, left arm down and across, and then use your right hand to push and pull. Push, pull, eye gaze to the left, sink your hips back down. Figuring out where we can let go. This is a big posture. Wiggle your right toes, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your nose. Just free up your muscles. Eyes back to center, left ear falls to left shoulder, keep pushing down and away. Most importantly, that breath connection. Arms rise. Exhale, frame out your front foot. Shift back to half split, and if you feel great, just stay. Soft knee. But if you're like me and it feels like it takes a little while to get cozy, I always like to move around, kind of fidget. It's really nice to do this. Inhale, exhale. And once you have found your favorite place to stay in half split, try all of the options, seeing if elevated fingers, elevated or pressed down toes feel best. Trying to find length in our sides and keeping our right knees really soft. In your time, sweep your right leg out to the side, press your blade edge down, soft knee again, and then as hips go back, arms really energize forward. So we want suction cups, we want energy into the armpits and the underside of our arms. And then bow your head down to deepen this sense of relaxation and openness. One more big breath in. On your exhalation, eye gaze comes forward, child's pose. Tuck toes, reach hips skywards for downward facing dog. And let's add on to the sun salutation. In your time, yogis, roll forward plank or kneeling plank. But try to bring heart towards your thumbs, belly in. Exhale, slowly lowering our chest to the earth. Elbows point back. Once you've arrived, walk your toes all the way back. Reach your fingertips back towards your toes, but tuck your chin towards your chest, long and back of neck. Then are you able to roll your palms out, facing away from thighs, thumbs up. Thumbs up for yoga. Tuck your chin, elevate from back of neck again. Like there's a magnetizing force in the sky drawing you upwards. Toenails press down, legs get really strong. Boost yourself up again. Last breath in upper locust. Exhale, release. Hovering nose and palms under shoulders, or stack hands and create a pillow to rest your forehead on. Try the same with your lower half, toes, knees, and thighs, becoming magnetized to the sky. Keep lifting as you press away. Open the webbing in your toes. Energize, lengthening out of the back body. One more big breath in. Exhale, release. Push back to child, up to downward facing dog. Awesome, awesome job, yogis. And then once you're in dog, lift both heels, but tiptoe forward, pulling your thigh bones up into your hip sockets every time you step forward. As long as you'd like to stay and fold, when you feel pretty good, find a new way to rise. We could bend our knees, press off the thighs, and lift like a hinge. Takes a lot of energy, doesn't it? Inhale, overhead. Exhale, back down, right where we came from. Right leg takes a long lunge back again. Okay, let's move on, yogis. High lunge this time. Bring your arms and your heart to the sky. Eye gaze following fingertips for a balance challenge. Play with your tailbone. Watch my butt. Tuck it under. Let it come back out. Tuck it under. We're going to lengthen the front of our right hip flexor, our psoas. We can also do this kneeling. A little tuck, a little release. So if you like kneeling lunge, still able to get it on. Two more. Awesome. Find a comfortable lunge wherever you're enjoying yourself the most. Right arm falls to reach the right thigh if possible. And then like someone's lifting you to the sky through your left fingers. Up you go. Take a big, big breath in. Release all of that. and the blade edge of your right foot. Release it to the earth, scooping right arm back forward, warrior one. But if you feel a little constricted, widen your feet left to right, attempting to roll your right hip flexor forward. Lengthening up a little bit more. Let's spread our wings, yogis. Arms come down to shoulder height. Reach back behind you like you could press the backs of your hands together. And then come forward, belly over left thigh, clapping hands together in front. Let's inhale, float back. Exhale, come forward. So like you have these gorgeous wings that you're showing off. You want to proudly display them as wide and as beautiful as they can be. Keep pressing down through right blade edge. Energize the inner right leg. One more big breath in. Big breath out. Fingertips float to earth. Right toes turn in and we press back to downward facing dog. Take 2 big, beautiful breaths in here. That feels nice. And then when you're ready, inhale to roll forward. Drop knees if it feels best for you. Otherwise, keep them lifted and slowly melt your heart all the way to the floor. Let's put upper and lower together this time. Lift toes, knees, and thighs. Reach fingertips back towards toes, but spin your palms out, thumbs up. Stay lifted in full locust and take a big breath in. See if you can ride that wave when your belly fills up. Exhale, release. Whew, press back. Child's to down dog or straight to dog. Lifting your right leg, elevate, and then press away through your right heel. Look to thumb tip. See if you can crunch your knee under your belly and land. Right heel underneath. If you got stuck, land your left knee. Grab your ankle and make your way into lunge. Chest and eyes forward. Long in your sides. Then step back leg in. Take a fold. I love to sigh here. Just go. Inhale, rise. Anytime it feels good, slow down. I love giving a little roll side to side here. This is your time. Take it as you please. Inhale, elevate. Eye gaze up. Let's add a little here. Heels. Can you touch your ceiling? Can you poke through your ceiling? Superwoman style. Heels down. Melt to the earth. Forward fold. Alrighty, let's move on. Left leg, long lunge back. Now you know what we're gonna do here. Hips get low, arms high, high lunge, or kneeling if you feel like it. Take a second, soften the upper body, and then let's manipulate the lower half with that little tail tuck, working on the left psoas this time. Inhale, let it come back to neutral. Tuck and press forward, lengthen. Let's go one more time like that. These subtle movements make a big difference, don't they? Nice. All the way up. Eye gaze to sky. Find something that feels really good. Through the hip, just stay strong here. And then clasp hands behind low back. You can tuck your chin, lengthen out the back of your neck. And then when you get the very heel of your hand pressed together, your chest feels really open, guide your eyes back to the sky. One more big breath in. Landing through the blade edge of your left foot. So for me, I always feel a little funky and I can't get my hips turned. So I step a little wider left to right. Then you may be able to rotate your left hip flexor forward for warrior one. Let's see if we can really pull energy up into the inseam of the left leg. Bend into your right leg. One more big breath in. Arms fall to shoulder height, and then reach your chest forward this time to start on this side. Clap hands together overhead. Lift your chest back upright. Backs of hands try to meet behind your back. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, come back. Finding that smile again, kind of playing in the corners of your mouths here. Even though it's intense, we can trick ourselves by smiling a little bit. Inhale, wiggle through your right toes. Open your fingertips. All the way back to the sky. Big breath in. Rotate left toes in. Frame out your foot all the way back down to lunge. And then find downward facing dog, whether we pass through table, into child's, however it feels really nurturing to get there. One breath in here. Next inhalation, we're going to travel forward, finding that plank again. And then just making this a little bit more fun. Dropping to knees. Allow right knee to fall behind, right heel to fall behind right knee, and roll up to modified side plank. We'll take it up a step on the next set, but let's just try to modify, making sure everybody's backs feel good, shoulders feel good, left heel behind, left knee, open right side body. Okay, if your shoulders felt great there, no pain, we're gonna roll over to the right side again without the knees if it feels great. Top arm down, swivel around, reaching right side body skywards. Come on, back to plank. Press back to downward facing dog. Give yourself a little shimmy through the hips to relax your sides. Left leg rises, but we're gonna step outside the left pinky finger for this one, yogis. Wide lunge, pull your heart through, and then possibly circle or sway in your hips. Always have the option to have a knee down. Press right on back, downward facing dog. Right leg rises, inhale, look to right pinky finger, and you know what to do. If you didn't quite make it, we drop a knee, we help the ankle forward, and then we relift our knees if that feels good. I love to offer movement, so if it comes organically and you feel really good doing it, please do. Press back, one more each way, just a little bit quicker this time. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale back. Right leg, breathe in. Breathe out as you find your lizard. Breathe in to really settle deeply into your hips, allow gravity to take over. And then breathe out, pressing back, downward facing dog. Lift your left leg again, yogis, but look forward this time and try to crunch it underneath your body. Regular lunge between the thumbs. Once you've arrived, back leg steps in. We tuck in tight to this forward fold, allowing the weight of the world to fall off our shoulders. Give your head a little shake if you need it. If you did shake no, always finish with a yes. And then let's roll, hinge, any way you can rise to the sky. Make it feel good. Inhale, arms up. Holding on to your left knee. If you can, hug it up high to your chest. We want to keep it down low. We just hold the thigh. It's all good. We're going to try to lean back and stretch once again through the hip flexor. Soften your shoulders if you're holding like me, and I'm going to show you from the side. As we lift up, we try to hinge our body back. Now, just like we would if we were still in studio, you have these friendly little helpers, walls, and pieces of furniture nearby. So if you're really off balance, I'd rather that you find some help, and that way you can really enjoy your stretch. So I could use the wall to feel very confident as I lean back. Maybe I'm holding on to the back of my leg. One more big breath in there. Back to center. Both hands travel outside the left thigh to take a little peek over left shoulder. And if you're feeling steady, you have the option of extending your left leg. Really tough hold here. We have to be strong in the quads. We can optionally hold a little lower for more support. Back to center, rebend, and then open the other way. Open your knee out to the left side. Right arm may open, and eye gaze follows those fingertips, but give your left toes a little wiggle. Come on, back in. Pull heel to butt. Great time for an option, like if we have a strap or a belt or a dog leash, lasso it around your foot and really pull the ends in, stretching out the front of our thighs. Right arm rises if possible, and then we're going to tip over to the left. After all, this is balance, so we're going to challenge ourselves a little bit. And I saved the best for last. Come back into the center, re-hug your knee, just like you did in the beginning. Hug, hug. Flex your left foot, and then try to cross it over the thigh. Ankle bone across the right thigh. So we're going to sink in here. Now, if it's too high, you can hold your supports, or we can lower our leg. Get a little kickstand down there. Still sinking in. And then still trying to press our left knees towards the floor. This always feels good to start kind of like hunkered in here. Then if you're feeling really good, you can reach forward, give yourself a little counterbalance to press your buns back more, or float fingertips to a support or the ground. And if you found your way down into a fold, try to tuck your chin to your chest. Activity in your left toes. How cute are those little toes? Opening your yogi toes, spreading your webbing. Try to do the same on your right foot. Next in breath, using the power of that to climb back to standing. Can we make it? Wiggly, wiggly. Lift the left knee. Exhale, release. Whew, that feels good, but you might feel tight. And so we need to kind of get rid of that. Whether you shake it out, you dance it out, or you massage it out. All right, all good? Bring your right knee up. Give it a huge squeeze. Low is great. High is great, whatever works. Trying to take the shoulders out of the equation though. We just want to relax our shoulders here. Okay, find a friend. I have posts in my basement. Those work well if you have furniture or chairs nearby. Or if you're feeling balanced, just begin that process of lifting, leaning back. You want to feel this great pull, lengthening happening in your left hip flexor. Always feel like if I can get my balance and look up, that encourages our heart to come up, our back bends to feel really safe and strong. Soften up your facial muscles. Balances have a way of making us clench our face. Come back to center, and let's move our hands off to the right side so we can twist and look over our right shoulder. If toes are on the ground, we can still do this little levering. Lift and settle into your twist. For the challenge, extend your right toes, low or high, wherever they are, you're gonna think about activating your quad muscle. And if you're shaking, 2 thumbs up. Good job, guys. That's what we want. We want to challenge ourselves here. Back to center, rebend, open your right knee, left arm too. Give yourself some counterbalance. And if you wobble and fall, what makes you a true yogi is that you tried, you came back, tackled it again. You can extend if that feels good for you. We can always look around for more balance challenge. And when you get done with that one, come back forward, re-hug, and then pull right heel to butt. Both hands come back to begin. If you can get a hold of the top of your foot, try to squeeze your shoulder blades out of the picture. Lifting again from back ribs and back of ear. So we're not back bending here. We're standing tall and stretching through the quad, and you feel it over your knee. If you don't, kick a little bit into your right foot like you're trying to straighten your leg. That's the one. Left arm rises. Big breath in, find your stability, belly in, squeeze your inner thighs together and tip to the right. Now, if you get a bad case of the wobbles, look down, find something still on the floor to focus on. When you feel really, really good, take your eye gaze to the sky. Regather up that right knee, but this time flex your right foot, open up your yogi toes, and cross it over for standing figure 4, ankle off the thigh. We can sink, use a little bit of an invitation here with the right hand, push down, feel the outer thigh. Lots of things we can do. It doesn't have to be the same as the other side. So if you wanted to float like an airplane, or we could squeeze palms behind us. If you wanted to revisit reaching forward, sending buns back lower, or possibly folding. If you're folded, allow all tension to drop out of the back of your neck. Try to give a friendly little wiggle to your left toes. I know that's hard when you're balancing on them, freeing up wherever we can afford. One more big breath in, my friends. And on the exhalation, let's use that power to rise. Inhale all the way back up. One more big hug. Oh, the best is yet to come. Release. Woo-hoo, that's a lot of work. So shake, rattle, and roll. Kind of just let it be free. Arms rise when you're ready. Exhale all the way down to forward fold. One last time. Bend your knees as much as it feels good. All right, I'm going to turn to the side and show you tiptoe stand if you're able to join me on this one. We walk fingertips a little forward, lift our heels, and then begin to sit our butt down on our heels. As we do, though, walk hands back and try to bring knees forward. If you're feeling balanced, you might need to squeeze your inner thighs together to feel that. We can bring our fingertips up to our thighs. Once you're in tiptoe stand, you may need your blocks, your supports around you. But if you don't, send the arms somewhere new. All right, option, guys. Stay right here or challenge your balance with me and your core by dropping the knees forward. So the chest comes back as the knees come forward, and then we just simply come right back up. I say simply, it's like the hardest thing ever. We're going to try to be graceful and easy about dropping knees forward and then rising back up. Okay, so I noticed when I moved my hands back, it got a lot easier. So definitely play with where your hands are. They may just be at heart center or on your thighs. Wow, that's really hard. I like the balance back. So we're gonna try maybe to tap knees forward, arms balance back. This might help. Oh yeah, it really helps me. So it's fun to play around and explore. Next time you get down, congrats, you made it. Let's stay. Flatten out the tops of our feet and just pause for a moment. Good work. That's a lot on the feet and ankles, right? When you are re-energized, lean forward, retuck your toes, try to, because we're gonna bring our hands into L's and put that webbing between thumb and index finger on the backs of our ankles or heels. Don't worry if you can't, I have an option. If you can, you breathe in, squeeze knees and ankles towards one another, exhale, squeeze your butt and lift up. Now again, take a couple times to get into it. Sometimes things don't work well the first time. But if you're unable to get that grasp, you can put fingers behind you on the floor or on blocks, and also you can let your toes go, okay? So wherever you are, we're gonna squeeze our buns and open the backs of our bodies. Breathe in, exhale, squeeze our buns, press up and forward. Now, just because you can do one option doesn't mean you shouldn't explore. There's never anything that's better or less than. It's different. So this one feels completely different to me than the other one. I love to try them all. Take a big breath in. Exhale, release. Bring hands back forward and reach out into child's pose. Take a big stretch, lengthening out your low back. Arms don't even have to do anything here, my friends. Just let them be heavy. You may even like to turn your palms up, opening your collarbones and your shoulder blades. One more back bend. When you're feeling re-energized, let's rise to kneeling this time. So get comfy in your knees again. And I'm going to show you this one from the back, but our hips are going to stay over our knees. Camel pose, a little modified to be comfy in it today. Option, heels behind knees, or some people like their big toes together, but we're going to take fists on the first attempt, my friends. Bring them into the small of your back. And once you've arrived there, lift your chest, eyes forward. Lift your heart as you breathe in, possibly exhaling, using your fists as a support. So press into your low back and then lift up and over your thumbs. Squeeze your buns, see how that feels. Lift out of your low back and breathe. You're in camel pose. Now, if you get panicky, which happens with heart openers, tuck your chin to your chest and rise on out of it. But we're attempting 2 more big breaths in here. You're welcome to reach the arms up and overhead or back for your heels, just taking a little bit of a kinder, more gentle version today. Everyone tuck chin to chest if you're not there already. Exhale, come back. And then pressing our buns back, finding tabletop, reaching hands under shoulders, knees under hips, and just super organically move here, yogis. Whether it's side to side, north to south, or like a cat-cow, anything that your body's craving after a big back bend. And let's all come together. If you're not there yet, exhale, angry cat back. Tuck chin towards chest, eyes towards belly. Tuck toes to help you get a little more oomph. And then release navel to floor. Top of head, tail to sky, cow. Now let's use our hands. As we enter angry cat, draw your hands back towards your knees. In our cows, press your fingertips forward. Exhale. Inhale. A little bit of hand activation makes it a lot bigger, doesn't it? And then when you're in one, if you'd like to poke your ribs out side to side, that always feels nice. Kind of like a dancing cat-cow. Inhale. One more round like that. Inhale. Let's finish on the forearms. One round of cat-cows here. And then we're going to stretch up into dolphin. A little bit less room to move when we are on our forearms. It's fun to experience it though. A little rock forward and back if you enjoy that. And when you're ready, tuck toes, lift your hips high to sky. As you start to guide your nose back towards your knees, figure out how your shoulders feel. So if they're really cranky right here, we can clasp our hands, press pinky fingers down. But ultimately, I would try to work your way towards wrists in line with elbows. As long as your shoulders aren't complaining, always listen to your body over me. Walk toes forward once you've gotten your arms right. And then drive strong out of the forearms, nose back towards toes. Most importantly, what do we have to do? B-R-E-A-T-H-E. Lots of beautiful breath. Think about it as dusting along your spine, like a little Tasmanian devil, swirling out anything that's no longer serving us and taking it away. If possible, lift your left fin, lift your left tail fin, your dolphin fin. Replace. Right leg comes up. We just have one more big breath in dolphin, even if your toes are down. Hang in there. Toes back to the earth. Make your way to your knees. Really good job, guys. And then roll on over to your buns. Ooh, that was a long haul up there. Great job. Soles of your feet come together just for a little spin around the corner. So maybe you have like a diamond. Don't have to have heels really close because we're going to take a little spin through the low back. Fingers on floor or on the knees or on toes. Whatever helps you spin like you're a spatula, scraping the sides of a, what do we want today? Cookie batter? Cookie batter bowl. That sounds really good. Breathe in and breathe out. Or if you're a pumpkin spice gal, you can think of it that way. One more big circle each way. Alrighty, little tiny twist. Left hand on something, could be the floor or your leg. Right arm swivels open. If you need a little boost, hand to floor, sit up really tall. Eye gaze over the right shoulder. Try that on the other side. Right hand gives a little boost anywhere that feels really uplifting. Left arm spins us around the corner or reaches us around the corner. As you make your way back to the center, let's close our knees, straighten our legs, and get a little hamstring stretch here. Left ankle crosses over the right. Great time for a strap or like if you had a dog leash or a belt. We don't have to have fancy yoga props. Loop that around the bottom of your feet and then gather it up. If you have a strap, I like to hold it and then I literally loop my wrists around so you don't have to hold so much and it's just kind of stuck there. Help yourself forward. Don't have a strap, your mat is awesome for that. So you can grab the sides of your mat and pull your body forward. That's so nice. Alternatively, if you're not looking at working that hard at the end of your practice, you can just soften down. Check that your knees are soft, that your breath is full. Bow your head down when you get to some place that feels really good. Allow your nervous system to totally chill. Remembering that the corners of our lips can be upturned, that soft smile, but we're going to allow the rest of our facial tension to smooth or picture it dripping away, especially when you're folded. It just drips off the tips of eyelashes, the end of your nose, your lips, and your chin. Rise, uncross your legs, and then we're going to come into half tabletop. So bring fingertips behind you. That bent leg, we're going to take the left foot flat, the one that was just crossed over. And once your shoulders feel good and your chest feels open, use the bottom of your left foot for half reverse tabletop. You can open your chest as much as it feels good. You can squeeze your shoulder blades together and make a little pillow back there for your head to rest back. And when you've had enough, let your hips fall. Straighten your legs again. If things got stuck under when you sat, you can lift your buns, move your sits bones back a little bit. Right ankle crosses over, left. And then let's use any props or our mats to feel a big lift. An exhalation, long and slow, floating our bodies down. When you get somewhere that feels really relaxing, tuck your chin to your chest. Close your eyes. They are the windows to your soul. So we just want to block out any stimulation for a moment, lights, colors, textures. Allow yourself to drop in a bit heavier. Soft in the elbows, full and long in your breath. Rising in your own time, really take as much time as it feels good there. Uncross legs, sit up, find your fingers in a great spot for your shoulders. Take your crossed leg, the right one, flat on the ground. And let's just rise a little, see how we feel. Maybe need to wiggle out through the fingers or adjust some way. When it feels good up top, squeeze your buns, stamp your right foot down strong. I love to squeeze my shoulder blades together and make myself a little pillow back there. Let your head fall. Nice to open up your throat. And then what can you free up? Can you wave at me with your left toes? Hey. One more big breath in. Exhale, release. Remember that stretch in the beginning where we had both feet flat, we hugged our shins and we rounded our belly away from our thighs. Try again. I'm gonna open up our spine here, and then we have one more tabletop option. All right, let's go both feet flat this time. Full reverse tabletop. Fingers find their favorite spot. Stamp your heels down, squeeze your buns. You can definitely hammock around a little bit if you like to rise halfway and just swing like a little crab in the breeze. When you're ready, squeeze your butt, rise up. And then find whatever feels good for one more breath. Hips melt down, eyes come back to neutral, and as you resit, don't forget to just let flesh come out from under sits bones so nothing feels pinched. When we arrive back in our staff pose, we're going to encourage our legs to widen up for our final set of postures. Wide-legged. Once you get there, you may feel a little bit back, right? So we're going to lift our chest, one hand in front, one hand in back, and then watch my butt. We're going to scoot the tailbone back, scoot back. And then we might need to help our thighs to lift and move that flesh back so we have the ability to come forward. Feels a little better already, right? Okay, so once you're there, we're gonna lift our arms, flex our toes, lots of energy in our extremities, smiley cells. Exhale, float forward, but halfway. Try to build up strong muscles around your spine here. Think Superman, Superwoman style. One more big breath. Landing hands somewhere soft and bringing our body into a position of comfort, but do feel a nice stretch through the inner thighs. We could have really bent knees here if we're tight, and we can also have items like blankets or sweatshirts under our knees to make sure they stay soft. If you're able to come and be soft in the arms, see if you like palms turned up. It's a really nice place for our shoulders to be relaxed. Definitely take a moment to tuck your chin, soften your eye gaze again. Unhinge your jaw a little bit, let it hang heavy. Tongue rests on the back of your bottom teeth. Walk up just a handprint or two, and then let's guide ourselves over the right leg. Now, if it's too much to fold over your right leg, you may want to bring your left in a little bit, or we could also bend it like a seated tree pose. This is a bit more accommodating. One more big breath in, and think about sticking your chin on top of your right toes so you're encouraging all this beautiful length through your spine and side bodies. Exhale, rise. Either walk over or readjust your leg so it feels really good, and you can fold a bit over your left thigh. Planting down for our sits bones, noticing where we're feeling this. Can you breathe deeper into any areas that have a sensation? Chin plants on top of your left toe. Wouldn't that be crazy if we could do that? Breathe in and breathe out. Rise back up on that next inhalation. Slowly make your way back to center, and then somehow get your legs back together, whether you squeeze inner thighs or you help them in. One more reverse posture. So we're back in staff. We're going to try to point our toes for this one. Now you can go back to the last position we did, which was reverse table, both knees bent, but if possible, we're going to try to come into a reverse plank. Fingers down, worry about your shoulders first, your chest is open. Point your toes and then squeeze through the back body as you push hands down. Squeeze, pressing heels down. Squeeze your calves. Squeeze your knees together, squeeze your buns. Take a big breath in wherever you've arrived. And on the exhalation, allow your hips to melt. Moving any flesh back out. rolling down one vertebra at a time, reaching towards your toes, round your back like we did for those hugs, and see if you can travel slowly, activating your core again, one little bit by bit. Back to where we started, feels pretty good. All right, bring knees to chest, but this time stamp your feet flat on the ceiling. Try to hold on to something, whether it's the back of your thighs. You can cup your heels or hold your inner arches. And then just get playful in your practice again, a little rock and roll. I love to hold the blade edges of my feet, and then I'll take my thumbs onto the bottom of each toe and just kind of massage and move around your toes. If you do that and you press your toes back in, you get an awesome stretch on the knuckles of your toes. And then play around with rounding your back versus pressing the tailbone down, widening pelvis, ribs, and shoulders. See how things feel different and great, each uniquely their own. Somehow holding onto the left leg so we can straighten it. A little half straddle, and try to keep that other leg in a half happy baby. A rock might feel good, could feel totally awkward, so you just have to see how you are today. Rebending, happy baby. Right leg does the same, half straddle over there. Rebending into happy baby and try full straddle. I usually bring my hands to the inside of my thighs. You want your shoulders to be really heavy here. That'll help your legs relax. But check out moving your legs down and then toes up. See if a new spot to land would feel really good today. All right, so remember that energy we had at the beginning of class when we rocked to seated? Well, we're going to do it in a really fun way. Fun means weird. Fun means hard. Take your peace fingers, the first two, and try to loop them around your big toes. It's okay if you can't reach. You can hold the backs of your thighs. Are you able to rock and roll toes to head with straight legs and get yourself up to seated like this? And if you are, stay in like a boat pose with your legs extended. It's okay if you have to draw your knees into your chest. We're going to come back to seated in some strong way, finding boat pose at the end of our class. Belly in, lifting our chest towards our knees. Modified option, hands hold thighs, toes are on the ground. For 4 seconds, we're going to breathe here in boat pose. Chest forward, fingers extending towards toes. Give them all a wiggle if you can. 3 seconds. Long seconds, aren't they? One more big breath in. Exhale, release any way that feels good to sit. Oh, congratulations, my friends, we made it. Let's get a comfy seat on. We can build up our hips so they're a little bit higher, encouraging a nice lower arch in the back. Chin tucks the chest and we soften down through the shoulders. Let's bring our focus into our breath without judgment or attaching any stories to it. Just an open-minded curiosity, noticing if it's hitched, noticing if it's really long and full, where we're feeling movement in our body in relation to our breath. And then bringing ourselves back into a mindful practice of breathing. If we can finish today with a box breath, 4 seconds in, 4 second pause, 4 seconds out, and another pause to complete your box. If that feels too long, you can lower it to 2 or 3 seconds each. Let's all take a breath in and out together, any speed. And then sitting up as tall as you can with an open, relaxed chest. Let's inhale together. 3, 2, 1, pause. Soften your facial muscles. 2, 1, exhale fully. 3, 2, 1, and pause. Soften the hinge of your jaw. 2, 1. 2 more rounds. Breathe it in. 3, 2, soft pause here. Notice the perfect stillness. Exhale. 3, 2, 1, pause. Last time. Breathe in. 3, 2, 1, soft. Exhale, 3, 2, 1, soft and gentle. returning to normal breathing after your box breath. A very nice strategy to understand so we can quickly drop into it when life gets too fast paced and we just need a moment. Another great thing to practice if you have insomnia and you have trouble sleeping at night, taking yourself into your breath. I notice that I usually maybe remember 2, and then I'm pretty soon to drift back off. When you feel ready, bring your hands to your heart center. Try to actually attach your thumbs to your heartbeat. See if you can lift your heart up into your thumbs and notice that rhythm. Then tuck your chin to your chest, eye gaze to fingertips. Yogis, I thank you for sharing your practice with me today. The Light in Me honors is inspired by, truly thankful to have spent the time with, very humbled by, and so enlightened by the light that is each and every one of you. Until we meet again, namaste.